Hi everybody, it's Teza again, and I'm here to wish you a very wonderful day, moment, and time that we're going through. We're approaching Thanksgiving. I'm offering this to the world as my gift because I like to do ritual. I do it myself every day. I either meditate or I do some yoga, which I consider a ritual, like praying with my body. And even doing the dishes can be a ritual, or approaching my work, because when you do something with intention, it changes it from just mindlessly doing something to all of a sudden it has an alignment with something bigger than myself. So that's why I love ritual. And we're coming up on Thanksgiving. Today is Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and the reason I'm doing it a little early, usually we have our ritual on Fridays in the We Are One Love little group that we have on Facebook, is because I'm going camping, and that's a ritual. I'm going camping with my husband and son and daughter-in-law, and we're going in a wilderness situation. Instead of Black Friday, I don't shop. I go to the woods. I go to the wild. And where we're going is going to be a ritual, because it's not just driving into the park. We have to meet at a boat landing, and then both of us, couples, two couples, are going to load up our boat with tents and stoves and food just for a few days, and sleeping bags. And that's a ritual. To prepare for it takes time. And to actually do it takes time and effort. And so even camping is a ritual, or any aspect of life, like preparing a Thanksgiving meal is a ritual. I'm sure you all feel that. Whatever way you celebrate Thanksgiving, it is a ritual. It makes it more intentional to say, this is a special time. And maybe you do it like your mother or your grandmother or your auntie or your culture. Maybe not. Maybe you just invent something new. I'm very privileged to be the niece of Dorcas Riley, who invented the green bean casserole. Good old Aunt Dottie, she invented it. And I know a lot of you prepare the green bean casserole, but guess what? I never have, because it's just not my thing. I'd rather just make green beans or roast some sweet potatoes. So many of you have rituals, and whether you call them rituals or not, or just preparing a fancy dinner for your family or friends, and during this time of COVID, of course, it's very much smaller and more intentional. And perhaps some of you are even wondering, should you wander down the street to go be with friends? I've been contemplating that myself. We each have to ask these questions in our own heart about, what do we do for Thanksgiving, or for the pandemic, or, we've already gone through the presidential thing, so that's been taken care of by the universe. So this time of intention is our time here that we're doing together, and it's my gift to you. So let's just focus on being grateful, because that's the theme of this time in America. This is the time when, more than usual throughout the year, we gather, whether it's just with our immediate family or our cat or our dog, and say, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for this meal before me, whether it's fancy or whether it's just the best we can do for that moment. So the way we like to do it in our rituals together is to go into that inner state, so we can experience gratitude deep within our being, not just talk about it, not just, do jokes about it. We can do plenty of that too. It's really great to laugh and dance and smile and have fun, but it's also really good to go inside and get quiet and to be in union with the higher powers that rule this universe, whatever you call them, whatever is your preference, your bag, your turn-on button, whether it's a religious one, a spiritual one, or just living a good life. Let's go to that place together right now. And the bridge to switching gears from ordinary life, where life is just okay, we're living life, we do what's expected of us next, to making it something a little more intentional, something more in tune with the fact that there are a lot of magical forces at work in the universe. Things are not what they appear to be in life. And by that, I mean there is a spiritual realm to all of our lives. And that is love. Love is the universal definition that I give. Other people might call it God, or consciousness, or presence, or oneness, or unity among all in existence. But we connect to that energy with our breath. So now let's focus on breathing, just for a few rounds, so we can switch gears. That's what we do. It's just like driving a car. We can switch gears from ordinary thinking to this kind of spiritual, intentional stuff that we do together. So we're going to focus on the breath coming in through our nose and focus on watching it leave our nose. It's that easy. It's that simple. Breathing in, and all your attention in your thinking mind is riveted on this breathing process. And breathing out. Close your eyes if you wish, or keep them open, it doesn't matter. Be comfortable, breathing in and out at your own pace. If a thought comes in your mind, just watch it, observe it, and don't talk to it. There might be a thought like, well, this is weird, but just watch it. You don't have to engage in it. When you engage in a thought, then you're thinking. When you're watching your thoughts, this is different. Some people call it meditation. Some people might call it just focusing your mind on something extraordinary. Breathing and watching, and every of your senses is alert. You can hear things off in a distance. You can sense the air touching your skin. We don't go into a hypnotic state where we don't have sense awareness all around us. We just become hyper alert when we focus our mind on not thinking, going beyond thinking, and breathing and watching our breath is the way to get to that state. Yes, you can use a mantra. I have a mantra when I sit for meditation. Yes, you can use other techniques. It's fine. Whatever gets you to this state, experiment with different methods. So we're quieting our mind, and you can feel that the rumbling going on in your mental capacity has quieted down. Like the wind over the ocean has stilled the waves that sometimes are rumbling, and when we stop the thinking process, they go quiet. And when they are quiet, that's when we can really go deeper within our own selves. And why do we want to do that? Because deep within our own selves, we have that ability to connect with everything that is. And that is fun, it's joyous, it's blissful. Even if you just taste it for one split second, the more you practice being in this non-thinking state, the more you will experience that state that I'm talking of, that feels so delicious and for which we are very grateful to experience, because it's always within us. It's just that a lot of people forget, or they don't take the time to practice getting there. So while you're continuing breathing, you can either tune into my words or just tune into your experience, whichever is your choice. I'm just going to share the feelings I have in this deeper state, to which I have allowed myself to venture, because I really believe in being positive and focusing on gratitude. And when we have gratitude, not just on Thanksgiving, but any time throughout our lives, everything changes. Absolutely everything changes when we decide to embrace gratitude. So here we are in the middle of a pandemic, and we've just come out of a terribly contentious time in our society. But let's focus on the fact that we can choose to give power to the positive energy of gratitude rather than focusing on all the little problems, all the many things that trip us up. They're always going to be there, always. But we don't have to focus on them. We can focus on, for instance, a beautiful landscape in front of us. It's so wide and expansive and magnificent that it makes our hearts just soar in appreciation for being alive. We can focus on that instead of the little tiny pebble that we just tripped over and maybe stubbed our toe to get there. There's always going to be those little tiny trips that stub our toes. But we can choose to focus on that big, wide, wonderful experience whether it's in front of our faces or within us. And the more you come to this place of stillness with gratitude, the more your inner landscape becomes purified and detoxed, and it becomes clean and pure and good. Such a good place to be inside of our own being. Feel that stillness that is within all of us. If we just give ourselves a few moments whenever we need it to connect. That's all it takes. A few breaths and you're there. And the more you experience this state of mind, because it is a state of consciousness that you choose to develop, the more you want it and you bring it into your ordinary life, the more you experience it in the interior life. It's really a matter of practice. So now we're practicing gratitude. When I first started focusing on gratitude in this inner state, I was told by my teachers to start very simply, like, I'm alive. How great is that? We have life. And so many people are losing their life because of COVID. So we're survivors. We are going through this challenging time together, and we are surviving. And I know that the more you tap into this inner state, it really does activate all those immune strengthening things, whether it's psychically or whether it's actually something that scientists could determine. But the more you believe that you are protected and that you are well and you're not going to succumb to this illness, the more you will be that. Whatever you put your mind to, you will be that. We are grateful, and so we are grateful. If we did not think about gratitude, then perhaps many of us would not even consider that what we're experiencing is anything so great that we should be grateful for it. But we have life, so that's something enormous to be grateful for. And next, we can be grateful for these temples of our spirit, these bodies. We're not in a snake body, we're not in a shark body, we're not in a worm body. We are human beings. We have pretty cool bodies. We have 2 eyes and 2 ears, most of us. And for whatever you have, be grateful. And if you've lost some things, which I have handicaps, but I don't focus on them. I accept that I have some major handicaps, and it's part of my story. I don't let it depress me. I don't let it make me feel like I have been gypped. I just say, why shouldn't I have a totally injured arm from a bad accident, why shouldn't I have scoliosis so badly that it got me into doing yoga? I mean, I'm actually grateful now that I have these handicaps. The list goes on and on, what we can be grateful for. Just focus on that. And all is well. And make every day Thanksgiving. Every day is Thanksgiving. And practice as much as you can going to that place inside yourself, especially if you have fears or anxiety about anything. Just use one of these little rituals that we do each week and just do a little tune-up. They're always up on the internet. I'm grateful for the internet. I'm grateful for you. Be well, my friends.